Hi, I would just like to document the fact that I think I've found where Brian was in fact exporting DXFs of overlap zones to, and I'm not sure why he hasn't explained to Chris how to make a button to show me those. But he's never given these to me before, but I found them on the hard drive somewhere. And I want to illustrate how they interact now with the driver output products in Geoscience Analyst. So we're looking here at part of the Gibraltar mineral deposit, and we're looking at a model of the copper values. It's a solid block model, so we can't really see inside it. So one of the best ways to have a look at it is actually to turn off the solids and just to have a look at some slices perpendicular to each other. So there we go. These are the copper values. Down here is the color ramp that we're using. So the hot colors are high copper, blue colors are low, and using Geoscience Analyst we can actually raise and lower the level at which we're looking at the copper variation through the deposit. I'm going to leave it somewhere in the middle, around about there, and we can also move our sections through like this to see where the copper is. This is a really powerful visualization environment. You're going to see why. The challenge that Driver is addressing is complicated. So we're looking at the copper in 3D now, and what I'm going to put on top of this are just the clusters of high copper values as identified by our software. So that's one rendition. There are a number of parameters that we can change that would change the wireframes around the higher copper values, but this is a wireframe around the higher copper values. And you can see if I turn it on and off, you'll see that it is over the higher copper values. If we set higher thresholds, the volumes would be smaller. You wonder what this big volume is on the right here. If we rise, you'll see there's high copper in that area. So first pass, I'm reasonably happy with those wireframes. So now let's see. We'll flash those on. Oops. Yeah, I was flashing on the copper values. There they are. I'll leave them on, and now we'll turn on the iron values. So that's the high iron zones, and I'll turn them off, and I'll click on the high magnesium zones. So if I leave them all on, you'll see that they are in different positions a lot of the time, but there will be some overlaps, and finding those overlaps for human beings is really quite tricky. So let's do that. Let's look for the overlap zones, and I will now turn them on. You don't see it because it's hidden behind there, but I'll now turn off magnesium, iron, and copper. And those are the zones that are high in magnesium, iron, and copper. And if I flash them on their own, there's the iron zone, there's the copper zone, and there's the magnesium zone. In fact, we've also done arsenic in this run, but arsenic is considerably displaced, and I haven't yet had a look at the arsenic overlaps. But this is a great example of what Driver is all about. So we have semantic networks describing these zones, and we should be able to compare those as the final output to other mineral deposits that have similar chemistry to these. That's it.